y'all? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm in downtown Wilmington. I'm going to be fishing the Cape Fear River is what I'm on right now. Today's plan is to try to catch some striped bass. If you guys have been following along the channel for the past, I don't know, a couple months now, about mid to late summer last year, I came out here. I actually was trying to catch some largemouth bass. It took a little while, but I did end up catching a decent little sized largemouth bass right here in the Cape Fear River. Only about maybe like a 15-20 minute boat ride from downtown Wilmington. But today we're going to be sticking, I don't know exactly how close to downtown Wilmington, but we're probably going to be sticking in a relatively close area. I'm not going to be making as big as a run, and we're going to be trying to catch some of these striped bass. If you guys remember, I caught a couple very small little babies. I'm guessing they're like pretty recently stocked striped bass when I caught them, but I did catch a few, and that surprised me because I don't really hear about a whole lot about striper fishing in the Cape Fear and this far south in North Carolina, but apparently there are. Apparently it can be kind of good here in the wintertime. We don't really have the giants that you might see further up north on the East Coast. Striper fishing up in the Outer Banks in Roanoke, Tar, and Neuse River, it can be pretty good up there, but down south, down here in Wilmington, I don't really hear a whole lot about it. But I got a few comments and DMs saying that I should try it out, and so I did some research. Turns out that there is a decent little striper population down here. Probably won't get into anything too big, but it's definitely going to be better than how it's been as far as the largemouth fishing goes for me. Since I've been back from the mountains, if you guys watched my last video where I went up to Lake Jocassee in the mountains of South Carolina with the Slab boys, I've been trying to get out and do some largemouth fishing up in the Raleigh lakes. It's been tough. The water there is super muddy, it's cold, it's up a few feet. It's just not the right conditions you want for wintertime fishing. So I decided to come down here to Wilmington, try to get onto a bite, and really anything will feel good. There's a little tug, you know, besides that one bass and the little brown trout that I caught in Jocassee. That's the only fish that I've caught this year since 2021 started. So today we're going to be trying to get on some stripers. From what I've heard, it's going to be a little bit of a grind to get on them, but hopefully once I get on to some, it should be pretty good. So we're just going to see what happens, y'all. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to give it my all. We're going to see together how it goes, so stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Let's see if we can get some striper.
There we go, got one, guys. No way, already. Let's go. No way. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Let's go. It feels like a pretty good one, dude. Oh my god, that's so sick. Already, yep. Pretty nice little striped bass. Oh my god, this is like 15 minutes into fishing, like my first actual spot. Let's go. Yeah, it's a decent one. Oh my god. Come here, bud. Oh my god. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, that's like a 6-pounder, probably 5-6 pounds. I was not expecting that quick. Come here, dude. Look at that. That is so sick. That's like my personal best striper. You guys haven't seen me catch many. I've caught one probably around this size, maybe a little bit smaller in my life. I'll tell you guys the rig and everything I'm using in a second, but look at that. First striper of 2021. That was so sick. Let's go. Yes. That is, I mean, great way to start the day. Not a giant by any means. Up in the Northeast, they catch ones that could eat this guy, but to start off the day down south, down here in the Cape Fear, I mean, 5 pounds 1 ounce is what I'll call it. 5-pound striper for the first fish of the day. It feels good to get that, get a release on him, and see if we can get some more. Oh, there he goes. I wanted to get a better one, but this went off too quick. Let's go, y'all. I am stoked. I am pumped now. Sick. Okay, so first spot of the day. We're out here by this bridge, and there's this island in between that kind of breaks current a little bit, as you can see. And I was like, all right, this ought to be a good spot. Stopped here, took a few casts. I was over here, and then I realized the current's coming right here, and there's a break. This is like the calm spots over here. The break is right here, and then there's
tons of current right there. I was casting at it from a few different angles and I was kind of just starting to circle it. And then I finally got to, I think around this kind of spot, this area, like right where I'm at right now. Sure enough, he came up and thumped the swim bait. 5-inch diesel minnow from Z-Man on a 6-aught, I think a 6-aught owner beast hook. I was thinking about switching over to maybe one of my bait casters, but I mean that fish, I got him pretty good in the mouth, so might as well just keep throwing this. I use this for a lot of different things in saltwater and stuff, even though that I use it a lot as a finesse rod in bass fishing. Yeah, 15-pound braid to a 25-pound fluorocarbon leader. That was like 10 casts in. I was expecting to have to fish for hours before getting a bite, but the tide's dropping. I think we got just another maybe hour or two of the tide dropping, and then it's supposed to switch. And so I really wanted to find some areas to target these fish while the tide is still dropping. So I really like fishing low tides, or when the tide's falling, a lot better than rising or high tide, just in all saltwater situations. But I think we'll have a good chance of catching them on the rising tide. When it drops here, it drops really fast. The current's a lot faster because we are in a river, and so there's the natural current, the natural flowing of the river that flows downriver, and then there's the tide dropping too. And so the rising tide should be a little bit calmer, should be like a little bit less current, but still gonna be some current. I'm gonna keep fishing this little setup so you guys can see. This is the setup I'm using. This is the Houdini color and this little Z-Man diesel minnow 5-inch. Oh, such a sick way to start the day. I'm really happy I decided to come out here. So stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna see if we can get some more. Another one. Might need to switch to a bait caster, y'all. This one feels smaller, but another one. I set the hook and oh yeah, much smaller. Get in here, buddy. All right. That hook set was horrendous, but another little striper going back in. Sick. All right, that was like 5 minutes after I finished talking. I'm gonna tighten that drag way down, because that little one, I set it and my drag just, and my rod was back here, but just super slow rolling it. Let it sink down to the bottom and just very, very slow rolling it down. Great way to start the day. 2 fish already, that's awesome. All right, y'all, so it's been a couple hours now since I've caught the first fish, and I've been basically in the same spot. I went up and around the bridge pilings a little bit, didn't really catch anything, or didn't catch anything at all. Y'all would have seen it if I did. I think it's about dead low tide right now. There's still a little bit of current I can see, but I've played around with a few different baits here. I threw around an A-rig, a jerk bait, crankbait. I played around with different variations of that swim bait that I was throwing earlier. The Z-Man bait keeps getting all fouled up and stuff, and it definitely works better. This bait is awesome. I love using these baits in saltwater. I use them all the time, these diesel minnows, but definitely don't do too well on a swim bait hook. Does a lot better on just like a straight jig hook. So I switched the swim bait to a similar, basically the same color, but I switched over to like a Strike King caffeine shad, not caffeine shad, what is it? Rage tail shad, I don't know. It's basically Strike King's version of the Kitech. Yeah, we're gonna keep rolling with that. Like I said, I tried a bunch of different baits, but I just put them all back, and I'm like, all right, well, I know this works. That style of bait, that swim bait on a swim bait hook, is supposed to be kind of the deal out here, is from what I've heard. So I'm just gonna stick with that. It's already proven itself to me, and I know I can probably get some more fish on it, but got a few different ideas in mind of where I can go. This whole river looks very fishy. There's tons of timber, tons of current breaks and stuff, tons of little creeks feeding it, and I don't know, we're gonna have to mess around, see what we can do. About to get to searching. Stay tuned, y'all, and let's see if we can get some more striper here on the Cape Fear River.
Oh, that's a fish. Oh my God, finally. It has been hours and I finally got another fish. On a jerkbait. Same exact spot, y'all. I've been up and down this river twice. Came back to the same spot. And I was about done. Oh my God, come here. Let's go. Literally the same spot, completely different tides. I did not expect that, but I didn't know what else to do. Not a giant, definitely not as big as the last, or as the big one that I caught this morning, but hey, I'll take him right now. All right, there we go, y'all. Third striper of the day. That took way too long. Back at the same exact spot. Tide switched though. Before it was coming this way, now it's going that way, but I guess that didn't stop them from hanging out here. And fat little striper, probably about 2 pounds. It's been a grind. I'm about to get this guy back in the water and then we'll talk about what I've done today. There he goes. Just on that little jerkbait. It's on that little Vision 110. I picked this up deciding to try to cover some water. It's been, let me think, I think the last time I talked to y'all was like around like 12 or something. It was like, oh, it was a while ago. Now it is 2:40. Is that right? 2:40, y'all. Been out here since like 7. Yeah, 2:40. Trying to get on some. I've been up and down the river a few times. Been trying so hard to find them. Like, I've been looking for hours now. I've been fishing around different spots, trying to cover water, fish different areas, and nothing's really worked. I haven't gotten any more bites or anything. I was like, all right, let me just come back here. And originally I tried on the other side of this little island that kind of splits the river, and I was like, maybe they moved, or maybe there'll be other ones on the same side doing the same thing that they were doing this morning, feeding with around this current and stuff when the tide was going the other way. And so I went over there, didn't catch anything. I went around the pilings again around this big bridge, and then I came back up to the front. Sure enough, that fish hit it right here, right off this point, and it's been a grind. Been a grind. I've fished, went all the way back down towards downtown, fished around some bridges and some little areas around there, fished creek mouths. I fished a lot of different areas, couldn't find any more. Tide's coming back up. I think it's actually almost dead high tide, so it's probably going to switch here in like an hour. It's probably going to start falling down again. I figured they'd eat a jerkbait though. I mean, there's not a whole lot of fish that wouldn't eat a jerkbait. I tried the swim bait and stuff and actually lost the swim bait, so I have to retie a new one. But I tried that for a little bit longer, couldn't get any more bites on it, and the tide or the current's just really strong right now, and I was like, let me try something that I can move a little bit faster, cover more water. Sure enough, the jerkbait got it done. So I'm gonna fish around here some more and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, y'all. See if we can get some more. On again. Let's go. Same thing, y'all. Oh, he's running. Okay, good. Oh, there he is. Another about the same size. Another little striper. Awesome. There he goes. Another one. Literally next cast, y'all. Let's go. We're freaking on them, y'all. About the same size, but hey, I'm not complaining. This is awesome. But I mean, solid little schooly striper. I'm not complaining at all. This is awesome. There he goes. Sick. Let's go. All right, so this setup that I'm fishing, super light little jerkbait setup. 6/6 gear ratio, 10-pound fluorocarbon, 7-foot medium moderate. I believe this rod is really meant for crankbaits like square bills and stuff, but I like it a lot for jerkbaits. Keeps the hooks pinned really well. Works well for largemouth, smallmouth, and now striper. Let's go. There we go. Another one. Those hooks pin, you keep your rod bent well. You also need to be light on it as well. You just have to have that perfect in between to keep these fish pinned. Light on the drag. If they want to run, let them run. Light line. So much fun. There we go. Oh, he literally has like one hook in him, like in the nostril. Another one about the same size, maybe a little bit fatter. He has a little bit better shoulders on him. About the same size. All right, another stripe going back in. Goes. Could not wait to get out. On again. There we go. It was about the same size, but this is just so much fun, y'all. I am not complaining. Let's go. Another one, a little bit smaller. They keep pooping all over my boat, so I'm gonna get this one back kind of quick. Another decent one though. Fun, just a whole lot of fun. Here it goes. Hopefully that wasn't the last one of the day, but it is definitely slowing down for this little bite that I'm on right now. I'm gonna keep fishing here for as long as they're still biting. If I go for a little while without a bite, I'll probably move, change angles, and if that doesn't work, who knows. But this is a whole lot of fun, y'all. Alright y'all, well that about wraps it up today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a super fun day in the water. This is my second time being out on the Cape Fear, and it was definitely a really fun time. Shout out to everyone who told me in the DMs or on the comments to go out and try some of that wintertime striper fishing on the Cape Fear. I already kind of knew about it, and I was already kind of thinking about it before I even got some comments about it, but after I saw those comments I was like, alright, yeah, let me actually give it a try. You know, I'd already been seeing some videos of people fishing for striper in the Cape Fear, people talking about it and stuff. I was like, alright, this might be a good idea. So I decided to get out there, try it out, and sure enough, end up having probably one of the best days of fishing. Definitely the best day of fishing I've had this year, 2021, but probably one of the best days I've had of fishing in a while. Started off really well with that first 5-pound striper, like the biggest striper. I think that was my personal best striper. And then I caught that one little tiny one that kind of caught me off guard, and I thought I was about to be on them at that spot. And I fished around there for a little bit longer. I kept changing angles. I switched around baits a few times. Just couldn't get anything. I don't know what it was. I couldn't get any more of them to bite, and then the tide kind of went slack, and then once the tide started to come back in, I started to try to figure out where to go and what to fish, where to fish and stuff. And you know, I drove up and down the river. I was just covering a lot of water, as much water as I could, and fishing and try to fish it efficiently. Didn't really have much luck doing that, and so I was like, all right, there's about 3 hours left until it's dead high tide. Let me go back to that same spot that I was at, except on the other side. And so I decided I wanted to go on the other side of that little island that ran under the bridge and see if they would be placed in the same spot just on the other side of the island, doing the same thing that they were when I was catching them. That's what I decided to do. I went over there, fished around that area for a little bit, didn't catch any more, and as soon as I came back over to that point, I picked up the jerk bait, because if I was fishing that swim bait, I feel like I wasn't able to fish it that effectively as far as covering water goes. You know, I wanted something that I could work fast but still had kind of more of a slower presentation, so not really like a crankbait, not like just swimming the paddle tail faster. I needed something to kind of make them react a little bit more, and so I decided to pick up the jerkbait, because the jerkbait, it's just a fish catcher. You can use it in so many different scenarios, and so I was like, all right, let me just try this, cover water with it. I'm confident in it. I know that it catches fish. I know that I can catch multi-species. It's not just a largemouth bass lure or a smallmouth lure or something. So that's what I did. I was fishing it, I was covering water, and as soon as I came back around to that point, I kind of sat there for just a couple minutes, and then boom, caught a fish. And I was like, oh, sick. Okay, well, like, that surprised me that they're on this point while the current's rushing at them, but if they're here, they're here. I'm not gonna really complain about it or try to question it or anything. Sure enough, kept catching fish. It was definitely a good day, definitely a good first time trying to go after striper in the Cape Fear. And yeah, y'all, it was an awesome day. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I really enjoyed making it. Yeah, that's about it, y'all. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like if you want to see more. Make sure to subscribe. Share this video with a friend if you think they might enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.